series When Stars Collide. This is part 4 of When Stars Collide. If you haven't watched previous part, do watch it before because this series interlinked. The weekend had finally arrived and it was time for Soyun's party. Wayan stood in front of the mirror, adjusting her dress and brushing through her hairs. She looked beautiful, her natural elegance shining through, though she wasn't one to flaunt it. As she gathered her things, a knock on the door made her turn. As she stepped out, Taeyong cars pulled up. He rolled down the window, smiling widely as his eyes scanned her from head to toe. "You look stunning, Vine," Taeyong said, his voice soft but filled with admiration. "He's right, you look beautiful, Vine," Namjoon said as well. Vine felt her cheeks heat up, her heart skipping a beat. "Thank you," she replied shyly, tugging a strand of her hair behind her ear. In the car, Taeyong's glance kept drifting toward her. He cleared his throat. "You always look good, but tonight you are really something else." "Namjoon, am I missing something?" he asked his younger brother while narrowing his eyes. "Taeyong, no, I'm just stating the facts," he said, turning his head toward her. "Namjoon, you tell me why," he asked her, but instead of replying, she smiled nervously, unsure of how to respond. She could feel her heart fluttering, but a wave of confusion swept over her. Is it just admiration or something more? When they arrived at party, the music was loud and laughter echoed from every corner. As they walked in, Taeyong gestured toward a small group at the center of the room. "There's Soyun." As they approached, Taeyong called out, Soyun turned around, smiling brightly, but the man standing beside her caught Wayan's attention. Her breath hitched when she recognized him, Jungkook. He turned at the sound of Taeyong's voice, his face void of emotion until his eyes landed on Wayan. He stared at her, almost entranced by her beauty. His heart skipped a beat, and for a brief moment, a voice from his past echoed in his mind. "You are beautiful." He glanced around, confused, but there was no one near him who could have said it. "You made it," Soyun said, smiling, oblivious to the tension in the air. Jungkook's eyes flickered back to Taeyong, his brow arching in curiosity. "Jungkook, surprised to see you here," he said, his tone indifferent as he sized up Taeyong. "Taeyong, I didn't know you two were friends," he replied, his voice casual but with an edge. "We are not," Jungkook responded bluntly, before turning his attention back to Wayan, his eyes narrowing slightly. "You seem different tonight." Wayan shifted uncomfortably, avoiding his piercing gaze. "It's just a party," she mumbled. Shaking his head, Jungkook rolled his eyes and stormed off, leaving behind a puzzled Wayan and Taeyong. After the cake cutting ceremony, the music started. Taeyong and the others hit the dance floor, while Wayan sat quietly sipping her juice. She smiled as she watched them have fun. Dancing wasn't really her thing. From across the room, Jungkook sat with a drink in his hand, absorbing her. Despite the simplicity of her dress and her choice to avoid the chaos of dance floor, she looked stunning, different from everyone else. She wasn't trying to get attention, yet she stood up effortlessly. Her beauty wasn't in the revealing clothes or the loud laughter, but in her calm demeanor, something that seemed rare in the world around her. Jungkook couldn't help but intrigued. Time skip. After some time, Vine excused herself to freshen up. As she passed through the hallway, she noticed a beautifully decorated garden out of the corner of her eye. Curious, she walked over to take a closer look. The twinkling lights, soft music, and romantic atmosphere drew her in. Just as she approached closer, she froze. There in the garden was Soyun standing with a nervous smile, facing Taeyoon. Wine hid behind a pillar, her heart pounding. Meanwhile, Jungkook roaming nearby spotted Wine from afar. His eyes followed her movements as she cautiously moved closer to the garden. He wasn't sure why he was there or why he cared, but something about her caught his attention. His expression hardened when he saw the scene unfolding. Soyun nervously said, Taeyong, I have something to tell you. Taeyong senses the tension in the air, raised an eyebrow. What's up, Soyun? With a trembling hand, Soyun took a deep breath and said, I love you, Taeyong. I always have. Ryan heart sank. Tear pricked her eyes, and she quickly turned away before Taeyong could respond. She didn't want to hear it. The lump in her throat grew, and she hurriedly wiped away the tears forming in her eyes. Jungkook, watching from a distance, clenched his fist. He didn't understand why he felt this sudden wave of anger and sadness seeing Ryan's reaction, but he did. His jaw tightened and his gaze shifted from Soyun and Taeyong back to Ryan, who was slipping away into the night. Ryan didn't wait to hear what Taeyong would say. She couldn't bear to. With a heavy heart, she turned and started walking back toward the hall. Her steps were shaking and her vision blurred with tears. From his hidden spot, Jungkook watched Ryan closely. She looked so broken, so vulnerable. His anger toward her from earlier felt meaningless now, replaced with an overwhelming urge to protect her. But he stayed in the shadow, not knowing how to approach her. Ryan walked back into the bustling party hall, her mind clouded with thoughts of Taeyong and Soyun. She tried to blend in, hoping to escape without drawing attention. Just as she neared the exit, a familiar voice called her name. Ryan. Namjoon stepped toward her, his expression a mix of concern and curiosity. You were gone for a while, he said, glancing in the direction she had came from. Everything okay? Her heart pounded as she forced a smile, though the ache in her chest made it hard to breathe. Why? Yeah, I was just getting my things, she murmured, her voice unsteady. She didn't want to talk, and the weight of what she had seen earlier was pressing down on her. Namjoon studied her for a moment, sensing something was off, but chose not to press her about it. Instead, his gaze shifted toward the garden outside. Namjoon, did you see Taeyong out there? Nia mentioned that Soyun was looking for him and he went to meet her. It's been a while and he hasn't come back yet. Did you pass him on the way? Ryan's heart sank further. Her grip on her purse tightened as she hesitated. For a moment, she wanted to tell him the truth, to share the scene she had just witnessed, but instead she shook her head. Why? No, I didn't see him, she replied quietly, trying to keep her voice steady. Namjoon frowned slightly but nodded, still watching her carefully. Namjoon, are you sure you are okay? You seem fine. I am fine. She cut in, her voice sharper than she intended. Her gaze darted to the exit again, desperate to leave. I am just going home. It's getting late. Namjoon blinked, taken by her sudden urgency. Wait, we can drop you off. But before he could finish, Ryan had already turned on her heel, moving quickly toward the door. She didn't wait for his reply, didn't give him a chance to insist. Her leg carried her out of the hole, her heart racing as she stepped into the cold night air. She needed to get away from the party, away from Taeyong, and away from the feelings that were suffocating her. Namjoon stood in the hall, a slight frown creasing his brow as he watched her go, confusion lingering in his mind. Author POV. Vine kept walking, not even realizing where she was going. She was lost, feeling hollow. She just wanted to be anywhere but there. As she wandered through the street, she passed a dark alley where a group of men stood talking. Hey, where are you going, beautiful? One of them slurred, stepping forward. His companions laughed, their gaze turning lecherous. Vine froze for a moment, panic swelling in her chest. She quickened her pace, pretending not to hear them. Hey, don't ignore us, another man called, his voice harsher now. He lunged forward, grabbing her arm. Vine, let me go, she cried, jerking her arm back, but the man's grip tightened. Come on, don't be like that, he snarled, pulling her closer. We just want to have. Fear surged through her, but she muttered up the courage to speak. Why? Leave me alone. I don't want any trouble. The man laughed darkly. Trouble? Oh, we haven't even started. Without thinking, Vine bit down hard on his hand. Are you? The man screamed, yanking his hand back in pain. Vine used the moment to try and escape. But before she could get far, another man grabbed her roughly from behind. Not so fast. A sharp slap echoed in the alley, and Vine's world spun. The force of the blow sent her crashing to the ground, her head smacking against a rough stone. Pain shot through her skull, and the edges of her vision began to blur. No, no, please, she whispered, her voice fading as she tried to push herself up, her body weak and trembling. The man circled her, one reaching out to touch her. She fought to stay conscious, her mind swimming in pain. But before the man could lay another hand on her, he was suddenly yanked away from her by an unseen force. Vine, her vision fading, could only make out the blurry image of a man, a masked figure, swiftly taking down the drunken group with precise, powerful strikes. The sound of fists hitting flesh echoed in the alley, followed by groans of pain. As the last man fell to the ground, the masked man turned toward Vine. His eyes were shadowed beneath the cap, were unreadable. As he knelt beside her, checking her pulse with a firm but careful hand. Wake up, he murmured softly, his voice deep, but Vine remained still, lost in unconsciousness. Getting no answer, he then reached for her purse, searching for some form of identification so he could at least call someone from her family or maybe drop her at her house. His finger found her wallet and he pulled out her ID, his eyes scanning the name. Kevin, he whispered, the name lingering on his lips. For a moment, something shifted in him, but he pushed it aside. Just as he was about to move away, he heard footsteps approaching fast and a man's voice, filled with panic, shouting her name, Vine. The masked man looked up, stuttered, his body tensing. He stood up quickly, looking at Vine one last time before turning and disappearing into the shadows. Moment later, Taeyong appeared in the alley, rushing to Vine's side. His eyes widened in shock as he saw her laying unconscious on the ground, bruises marking her delicate skin. His heart raced. Vine, he called gently, shaking her shoulder. Vine, wake up. When she didn't respond, he noticed the man groaning nearby, slowly up. Still drunk and disoriented, they mistook Taeyong for the masked figure and charged at him. Taeyong dodged the first man's swing, landing a solid punch in return. Taeyong fought them off, but they quickly overwhelmed him due to their numbers. Just when Taeyong was about to overpower, the distant sound of police siren cut through the air. The man startled, glanced around before scrambling to their feet and fleeing into the scene, leaving Taeyong breathless and little brushed. Ignoring his own pain, Taeyong hurried back to Wine. He rushed to his car, grabbed a water bottle, and sprinkled it over her face. Taeyong, come on, Wine, wake up, he whispered urgently. Her eyelid fluttered open for a brief moment. She blinked up at him, her vision still blurred, and in a soft, broken voice, she whispered, Taeyong. Taeyong froze, his chest tightening. She recognized him, but there was something strange in her voice, almost as if she wasn't entirely sure it was him. Her eyes closed again, slipping back into unconsciousness. He noticed a brush forming on her head. He knew he had to act fast. Carefully, he lifted her into his arms, the weight of the moment heavy on him. I'm getting you out of here, he murmured, hurrying to his car. Once inside, he laid her down in the passenger seat, his heart racing as he drove to her home. Every glance at her pale face filled with urgency. Please be okay, he thought. Arriving at her house, he rushed to the front door and rang the bell with his elbow. Her mother answered first, her eyes widening in shock at the sight of wine in his arm. Oh my god, what happened? She gasped. Theo, I'll explain everything, ma'am, but let's her get inside first, he said quietly, stepping past her into the living room. Theo came inside and gently placed her on sofa. When Jin stepped into living room, his expression shifting from confusion to alarm when he saw her unconscious. Jin, what happened? Is she alright? He asked, his voice shaky as he looked down at Ryan. Taeyong hesitated for a moment, glancing at her pale face. Taeyong, I found her in an alley. Some men tried to hurt her. He began posing clearly, uncomfortable, explaining this in front of her family. She hit her head, but she's going to be alright. Her mother hand flew to her mouth as she knelt beside Vine, gently brushing her hair from her face. Vine's mother, Jin, call the doctor right now. I want my daughter to be safe. Jin nodded and went outside to call doctor. Jin, doctor will come soon. Till then, we should shift her to her room. Vine's mother nodded and Jin carried her to her bed. After placing her on bed, Jin came back to living room. All of them are worried for her, even though none of them said anything. Just then, the family doctor arrived. He checked Vine pulse and the brush on her head, nodding reassuringly. Doctor, it's a minor injury. She just need rest. She will wake up soon. A collective sigh of relief filled the room as her mother sat back, tear welling up in her eyes. Thank you so much for bringing her home. They shifted awkwardly, clearly uncomfortable with the gratitude. I am just glad I found her in time. As the doctor packed his bag, her mother turned toward Taeyong. We didn't catch your name, what it is. Taeyong hesitated for a moment before replying. Taeyong. Jin, who had remained silent, now stepped forward and offered his hand. Thank you, Taeyong, we owe you. Taeyong shook his hand but seemed restless. I wish I could stay, but I need to pick up my brother from the party. My mother's waiting at home too. Vine's mother smiled gently, though her eyes filled with gratitude. Vine's mom, you have already done more than enough. Please let us know if we can ever repay you. Taeyong gave a small nod, his gaze lingering on Vine before he turned and walked away. Thoughts still racing through his mind. Was it really me she was calling for? The next morning, Vine stirred under the soft covers of her bed, the memory of night before blurring in her mind. She sat up slowly, rubbing her head, which was still itched faintly. How did I get here? She thought. Her mother entered the room with a tray of breakfast, smiling softly at her. Good morning, sweetheart. How are you feeling? Vine, I'm okay, I think. Vine replied, her voice still hoarse. But how did I get home? mother placed the tray beside her on the bed and sat down gently. Vian's mom, your friend Teung brought you home. He found you and carried you here. Vian's eyes widened, her heart kicking a beat. Teung, she recalled the alley, the man, and a masked figure. Her memory was hazy, but she was certain someone else had saved her. Are you sure it was him? She asked her mother. Her mother nodded with a soft smile. Yes, dear, he was so worried about you. Vian nodded slowly, but something still felt off. Could her memory be playing tricks on her, or was it really Taeyong who saved her? The certainty gaunt at her as she stared out of the window. The pieces of night still blurred in her mind. Meanwhile, somewhere, Vine, you will regret ever crossing me. I'll make sure you pay for it, no matter what. Just wait and watch. Don't forget to mention your favorite part. Next part will come soon. Like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.